Hello, Matthew Taman here from LearnJoomlaFast.com, where we teach you how to create professional websites without being a professional coder. And today I'm excited to bring you another demo and review, as promised, of the Pagebuilder 2.0. This is the beta version. And, one of the great things that they released in this version is the front-end editing, which is the first for a Joomla component in terms of creating pages. So this is really big. It's one of the features too that I have been waiting, for a long time to be able to edit your pages. So you can go here to download it. Try to, but once again, make sure that you will not use this on a production site or a live website. You can put this on like a local server or a test site like I'm doing now. So usually the way that you edit your articles before or your pages before is you go over here to Pagebuilder. And I was going to create a new page. You'd have to come on the back end, log in, and then put in the information from it. So I'm going to call this Pagebuilder to beta. And then I'm going to add a row. And if I'm going a little fast here, when this component is stable, I'm going to have a complete course that goes through details how to use the new 2.0. So I'm just going to click here, just save and close. So what I've done now is I've created a new page, save and close. When you go to the front end of the site, let's do that now. We'll go over to the front end of the site. You notice it's still just bare. You're probably wondering, so how do I activate this thing on the front end? How do I start editing on the front end? Well, to do that is simple. You go over to your menus. You have to connect the menu that you wanted to, the menu, the new page you just created. So I'm going to click on that and go to Pagebuilder. And we're going to connect the menu to this Pagebuilder beta 2 that we just created, which is right here. So once you've done that, let's go over. You refresh it again. You notice that you still see this here now, but you still can't edit anything. Well, that's because you haven't logged in yet. So you have to log in to the front end of your site. I'm just going to log in like that. And then now you notice you've activated this edit page button right here. So this is how you start to edit on the front end of your site. And to do so, you click on edit page, and you notice that little twirling thing there. Nice, cute little thing they put on. Okay, so now Pagebuilder is in full effect. But if you look at the bottom here, you notice you have add new row. You click on tools. It shows you import, export. And then you have to undo and the redo, which these features, they were not available in the 1.4, which is the latest stable version. So if you make a mistake sometimes or you wanted to revert back, then you can just click on the undo or the redo. And then in the right-hand corner, you have to save, and then you have to cancel. So when you click on the cancel, it's going to deactivate everything. So let's go over now to add new row. So you click on that. Also, if you want to edit, let's say I have this accordion title now. If I wanted to edit, you put your mouse over it. You notice that you have additional icons here. This is the drag and drop. This is the add new, like a new add-on, and this the column settings, and this the add new row. And if you wanted to disable this column, you click on this here. There are times when I'm working on the site and I wanted to disable a particular column just to see what it looks like without that column. You just click on this here, and it's going to disable that column for you. All right, so we have this accordion add-on now, and we're going to, let's see, wanted to even delete it. I'm just going to click there. Okay, so now I've deleted it, and I want to be able to create something new. So I'm going to click on this new add-on here, and you can choose from different options that you have. You can Joomla module. You can use the Flickr gallery, the Google Map. So you have a bunch of different options that you can be able to utilize from here. So let's say that you wanted to put in like a text block. You put in the text block, and then you put in whatever text that you want. You put in the title. And by the way, the admin label, this is for the admin. So you put in admin label. So that way, as you're working on your site, you know what each add-on is about. Sometimes as you build your site, for example, when I was creating a site, I have so many different sections here that I have to label each one on the back end so that I know exactly what each section was about. So it's so much easier for referencing purposes. So that's something that you definitely want to make sure that you put the admin label on there. So I'm going to call this one top section content. Oops, delete that there. And then you get to choose the heading. You want this to be H1, H2. And I'm just going to put this as H1. And then Pagebuilder to beta. So that's the text that I put there. Or you can put in whatever text you want here. Put your text here to be shown on the front end of the website. Okay. So that's there, the headers one. And then for the styling, now how do you want to align this? Do you want it to be left? Do you want it to be right? Do you want it to be centered? So I'm going to leave that at the left, and you can choose the title font size. So if you want to make something a lot bigger, whatever, I'm just going to put in here, just put in 60. So you get to see how it is on the front end, and you can put in, just put in bold. And then for the title color, so let's click on this here, and we're just going to drag this to a nice blue, dark. And then you can lift the title text color. If you wanted to have like a unique color for it, it's a little extreme, but I'm just going to put that there just so you can see visually what it looks like. And another thing to this is really, really cool that they did this, because there are times when I'm working on something and I don't want the link color to be the generic color of the whole site. So now with this option here, you can choose the link color. You can choose the link hover color, which is really, really great to have, because if you have a site that you want for the links to be a particular color, then you can change that to match your site. But before, whatever was set in your template manager section, then that's the color that the site, you have to use for the entire site. But with this, you can click on the link color here. So let's say you don't want the link color to be blue. You want it to be, let's just say red, for example. And you want to set the hover color to be, I'm going to put this to like a little. Okay, so now you set the colors for that. And do you want to have a background? You can activate the background, and you can choose the background color for this. Or you can put an image. Okay, so now let's click on apply. So there you have it. This is the text that you just put on the section here, and you can be able to go back and you can edit it. You can edit the add-on, top section content, and let's go back to the style. Scroll down here, and if you want to put a padding, then you can put a padding. So right now, if you notice, it's very close. Let me cancel this here. If it's too close, the top section there, if you notice, is close to the title. If you wanted to add a little bit more space between that, I'm just going to click on the edit, go to style, scroll down. So let's say I want to put a top, padding of, let's just say 50 pixels. So I'm going to put 50, and then I'm going to click on apply. So when I hit apply, you notice that nothing changed yet. What you have to do is you want to make sure that you click on the save at the very bottom here. That's the save part. You always want to make sure that you save your work, because if you forget it, then chances are you won't be able to see any of the changes on the front end. So we'll have this now, and you can go back again, and you can the responsiveness for it. So do you want to hide this on a desktop? Do you want to be hidden on a tablet? So this gives you a lot of flexibility, which wasn't available before, because sometimes you're creating something and you don't want a particular part of your page to show up on a tablet. Well, with this here, you can click on no, or you can click on yes. So if you click on yes on all of these, then it's going to hide it in whatever device that you are on. You can also set the access for this. Do you want this to be guest? Do you want it to be registered users? Which is, once again, really, really good to have, because you can hide certain parts of your pages. Let's say, for example, let me go back here on this our site here. Let's say I finished creating this page, and I realized I had some content right here in this section, and I didn't want this section here to be seen by the general public. I wanted this section just to be seen, or add-on to be seen just by registered users that I want to give them access to. Well, now with the 2.0, I can be able to make sure that this is not seen by the public. This section here is going to be seen only by the people that I set the permissions to, which has come the access here. So if I want that section of the site to be seen just by the register, then I can choose this here. or you can go to ACL on the back end and you can be able to add more stuff and organize it how you want it to be. So back to the style here. This is where you're going to spend a lot of time because you have to check the colors. You have to, test different things. You check the margins. You test, and sometimes if you don't know exactly the size of a margin, how it looks, what I encourage you to do is just put in any number, put in a very large number so you can really see the difference for that. So I'm going to go back here now, and I'm just going to create just a hyperlink here. And then OK. And then apply. And let's click on save. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on another add-on. Just click on this add-on here, and we can put in, let's see, what do we want to put in here? Just apply progress, and just click, leave it as it is, click on save. Sometimes if you don't know how things are going to look, you just leave it and you click on save. So right now, nothing is showing there. I'm not sure if it's some type of a glitch, since it's just because you have the percentage set here and you have the width. But when you click on that, you don't see anything on the front end. So I'm sure that if it's a type of glitch, there's something that they're probably working on. So they are. So there you have it now. You have to put in some type of icon here so it wasn't glitch. All right. So you put an icon there, and let's go ahead and click on. I want to click on edit add-on. Or another thing too that you can do is you can clone an add-on. Let's say you wanted to clone this, you can click on the clone, and it's going to clone the icon, the add-on there for you. And then you come, and if you wanted to disable this. So let me go back to what I was saying before in terms of disabling a certain part or making certain parts of this for, people. So let's say I wanted to make this section here, this add-on, and I wanted to change the access so it's just for registered users only. So I click and I click apply. Now I'm still able to see that because I'm logged into the site. I'm going to save this here. So I went ahead and made some more changes to this, and as you can see now, the link color, it's red, when you hover over it, it's based on the color that you want. So I'm going to log out now. And I log out, and one thing I mentioned before too is that you can hide certain parts of the add-on, which is a really awesome feature to have. So if you don't want a certain part of the add-on to be shown on the page, you can do that. You notice that I had to apply progress bars, but since I changed one from public and I changed that one to register user. So if you have a certain section that you don't want people to see, then you can do that. So to do so, you go to edit the icon and then go to access, and you can be able to choose here if you want it to be registered, or if you're working on something that you don't want anyone else to see but just you to see that, then you can choose the super user here, and just the super admins are going to be able to see that. And you can see the changes live as you're working on it. So let me go back to the home here, and I'm going to see everything that I'm working on. And let's go back and just add a couple more of these. So let's take a look now at the bottom section here. You notice that you have this tools here. Let's click on that. First, you have to import. So if you're working on a different site or a different server, you can just import. You can save your pages there. You can export them and then import it to this particular page, which is really great, because there are times when I'm working a project a different server and I wanted to import it somewhere else. So you just export it and then you import it, and then you have to load templates. When you click on the load templates, it gives you several options. Now they have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but in the previous Pagebuilder, they had the other pages there too. So they've simplified it now, and everything is at just 5 pages. So this is really great if you're not sure, or you need some type of a starting point on how to create, let's say, About Us page, and you don't know exactly what you want to do or how you want it to be. Well, you can be able to click on the About Us, or you can click on any of these links here, and it is going to load that for you. So I click on About Us now, and this is a great starting point, because if you wanted to start somewhere and you don't know where, then you can be able to come in, you can edit these. So it's a nice, beautiful layout here for you, and you can work in manage the columns here as well. You click on the columns and you can choose the different options here. So let's go back to another template. So let's say you want to switch templates. Let's go to the corporate, click on the corporate template, and just give it a few seconds. And then once the page loaded, looks like that, you can edit it from there. So now let's go over to this box layout here. So let's activate this so you can see what that looks like. This is going to give like a fluid, like a Google map type of look. So it expands everything out. So I've saved that. I'm going to refresh it. And you notice that it's expand things and stretch it out. So if this is the type of look that you're going for, or right now this template is too, it's too closed in, that this would probably look a lot better with a, something that's a little bit more spread out from there. So you want to go back, you can edit. So I've kind of gone through this, and this, my first initial review just by downloading and just trying it. Now I'm sure that if I go, through it again, I can have a little bit more to say. But I just wanted to, after trying it out, I just want to give my feedback for this. Now it has really, really great the features that they've added. But for the developers who guys are working on it, just some things that I've noticed first that I want to. It'd have been nice to, I'm not sure if they're working on this, but this is something that I think it'd be nice to do as well. I noticed that when you have a page, you can export and import a page from here over to here to the article. So let's say you wanted to import a page into your articles. I'm just going to create a new one here. And you can be able to import, your pages here. Well, one thing that would be nice to have, if they can have some type of a button that you can just transfer your pages. You can either move them or you can just, transfer them over. Just like when you go over to the articles menu here. I don't have a lot of, to the menu. I don't have a lot of menu now, but if you wanted to move menus, you have something called batch. So I'm going to click on the batch. There's nothing here now, but when you have a lot of menus, let's go over to the menu. You can be able to use what's called the batch. And how the batch system works is you can move a bunch of menus at the same time. So this would be a really great feature that if they can incorporate this in Pagebuilder somehow, where you can either move all your pages or you can just move selected pages. And I think that's important. Also, they can work on the access levels, but I think just transferring the pages are really important. So, and the reason why that is, let's say you have, like for me, I have a bunch of pages that were created with Pagebuilder. Well, to go to each page and click export and import and export, if you have, let's say, 100 pages, that takes a lot of time. You have to individually export and then import it. So if they can come out with some type of way that instead of you having to, just do it individually, you can do like a mass import or a mass export. That's something too that I think will really save people a lot of time. So you don't have to go because it takes a lot of time. You don't have to do it one by one. You can just do like a mass import. So another thing too, let's go on the front end here that I noticed. Let me click on edit. This is one of the pre-loaded templates. So I'm gonna click on edit, and as you can see right now, it's taking a long time, and it takes a while for you to edit it when you load a pre-made template. And if this can be a little bit, a lot faster. So when you click on edit, and it just pops up. So it takes some time just to load up. So that's something too that I think can, some improvements that can be made on there, that it can, load a little bit faster. Okay, so another thing too that I wanted to give my feedback on is delete. How do you delete this page, like the whole page, not just each column? So right now, once again, when I go back, I might, maybe they have another way, but in order for me to delete this page with Pagebuilder here, let's say I have this page that I don't like it, I want to delete it. I can just click on this checkbox and I click on trash, and I delete the page. But when I'm on the front end of the site, there's no button, there's no way here for me to say, okay, I don't want this page anymore, I want to delete it. There's no way for me to delete the page. I would have to individually go to each column and then use this process one by one, delete each column until I've completely deleted, the entire page, and then start to create something new from here, which if you have a long page can be very time consuming. So that's something that if they can add that feature, some type of a delete somewhere that you delete the entire page, that'd be really, really awesome. And another issue that I came across is, let's say I wanted to add, change the row settings for this. I'm editing this page. Let me go back to the home page. Right now it's just blank and I wanted to edit this. Click on the edit page. So let's say that I wanted to add rows to it. Well, when I put my mouse over here, it's like a little battle where I have to keep going here, try to, gently, but I'm not able to click on anything here. So right now I can't even click to add different columns. Let's say I wanted to have, like 4 columns, across here. I can't really do that right now because this is not active back here. Now on this part here, you can be able to, to do that. When I click on this page that we created, and just by clicking on this little column here. But one thing that I'm noticing now is when I put my mouse over it, it's not so easy for me to click on it. I have to slowly try to find a way to click it, trying to get it right. So adding a column here, different columns here, it's a little bit much harder. And on the front end, I noticed the same thing too, is that when you put your mouse over this part, you can't add a new column. So I know that's something that they're probably working on that is going to be fixed on the next release. But so far, it's really great. It has a lot of great features that I'm excited about. So I definitely encourage you to go check it out. Just go to joomlashaper.com and I have a link here where you can be able to go download it. And based on the schedule, October 20th, that's when a release candidate is going to be. So, and you should see they have a bug fix. I'm sure that this is some things that they're working on their end, and it makes sites really easy to create. And one more thing too is when I go over here to load a template, when I click to load a template, with the previous version, it loads just almost instantly. But with this version, notice that I clicked on it and it takes some time before it actually comes up. So that's another thing too there that can be worked on. And the issue that I mentioned before about the columns, when you load a template, this is the only time that you're able to change the columns for some reason. So right now I've loaded a template. That's when I'm able to click on the columns that is activated, and you can be able to see that here. But if I don't preload a template, then I'm not able to access these, or I'm not able to click to utilize them, which can be a little frustrating because you can't design the page or style it how you want it to be. But overall, it's coming along great. Real excellent job that the team there is doing, and I look forward to the next release on October 20th. And when that comes out, I'm going to give you another detailed review and a demo with my feedbacks, anything, things that I noticed in terms of bug fixes or issues or things that they can work on. So stay tuned for that. October 20th, that's when the next one is coming out, and I'm going to have a review and extensive demo just like I did with this one. And if you want to learn how to create professional websites with Joomla and you're not a coder, you don't know where to begin, you're confused, you're lost, we have 850 videos and growing, the largest selection or collection of Joomla tutorials for absolute beginners. So if you're not a coder, you're an absolute beginner, you don't even know what Joomla is, or you're still trying to figure it out, we definitely have something for you. And these guys, Joomla Shaper, make our job so much easier because we can be able to teach you how to utilize their tools and others to be able to create websites. All right, till next time, I'm out.